Hola, ¿qué tal amigos? Buenos días, buenas tardes y buenas noches. No importa la hora que sea, siempre es un gran momento para hacer un viaje a Hawaii y también aprender español con Profesor Pablo. We're taking a look at antes de que, which means before, followed by the present subjunctive. Now remember the present subjunctive, how do you form it? You take the yo-o form of the present tense. All but 6 verbs end in O in the yo form of the present tense. The exceptions are this little acronym here, HVEDs. This is for haya, vaya, esté, de, sepa, and sea. All of those verbs in the yo form of the present tense do not end in O, so you have to learn the irregular. This is a, this is boy, estoy, doy, soy, and say. Or soy, say, or say and soy. It doesn't make any difference. But they all do not end in O. So you learn the irregulars. Haya, vaya, they rhyme. Esté, de, sepa, and sea. All right? Before plus verb number 8, it's opposite vowel. Take that yo-o form of the present tense, change that O to opposite vowel, and you are in. Yeah, there's stem changing and things like that, but we'll encounter them as we work through our clusters. Our first one, before you take off. Antes de que te vayas. Before they take off. Antes de que se vayan. Before something happens. Antes de que algo pase. We want to get to the point that these are basically automatic. Before we run out of gas. Antes de que se nos acabe la gasolina. Before you see him. Antes de que lo veas. Before you see the movie, read the book. Antes de que veas la película, debes leer el libro. Before they raise the price. Antes de que take subo, change that O to an A and add an N. Antes de que suban el precio. Before it dies, like we better water the plant before it dies. Debemos de regar la planta antes de que se, it's a stem change, O to UE, muera. Before it dies, antes de que se muera. Here, before you find out, antes de que lo sepas, antes de que lo sepan, before they find out or before they know, antes de que lo sepan. Before the game is over, antes de que se acabe el partido. Before you start, antes de que empieces. Before they start, antes de que empiecen. Before the game starts, antes de que empiece el partido. Before the dog gets out, antes de que se te escapo, change it to E. Antes de que se escape el perro. Before it's too late. Antes de que, it's one of the irregulars. Haya, vaya, esté, de, sepa, and sea. Antes de que sea demasiado tarde. Before it is too late. Before they arrive. Antes de que lleguen. Before you sign it. Antes de que lo firmes. Before the plane lands. Antes de que el avión aterrice. Before the plane takes off. Antes de que el avión despegue. Or it could be antes de que aterrice el avión or antes de que despegue el avión. Before the baby is born, that's a ZC. It's nazco, change it to an A. Antes de que el bebé nazca. Before they move away. Antes de que se muden. Before they realize it. Antes de que se den cuenta. Before you fall. Antes de que te caigas. Bájate de la escalera. Get down from the ladder before you fall. Antes de que te caigas. Before she changes her mind. Antes de que cambie de opinión. Before they get married. Antes de que se casen. And before we make her an offer. antes de que le hagamos una oferta. So these are just before phrases. Before something happens, you have to go opposite vowel, present subjunctive. Remember your irregulars are haya, vaya, esté, de, sepa, sea. This would be before you take off, antes de que te vayas. Before something happens, antes de que algo pase. Before they run out of milk, antes de que se les acabe la leche. Before you see the movie, antes de que veas la película. Before they raise the price, antes de que suban el precio. Before it dies, antes de que se muera. Before they know about it, antes de que lo sepan. Before the game is over, antes de que se acabe el partido. Before the game starts, antes de que empiece el partido. Before the dog gets out, antes de que se escape el perro. Before it's too late, antes de que sea demasiado tarde. Before they arrive, antes de que lleguen. Before you sign it, antes de que lo firmes. Before the plane lands, antes de que el avión aterrice. Before the plane takes off, antes de que el avión despegue. Before the baby's born, antes de que nazca el bebé. Before they move away, antes de que se muden. Before they realize it, antes de que se den cuenta. Before she falls, antes de que se caiga. Before he changes his mind, antes de que cambie de opinión. Before they get married, antes de que se casen. And before we make her an offer, antes de que le hagamos una oferta. Notice all of these, we're taking the verb after antes de que, and we're conjugating it with the subject. If you just want to say before, like before taking off, antes de irse, before watching the movie, antes de ver la película, before raising the price, antes de subir el precio, before moving away, antes de mudarse. But we're talking about before, and you're following with a conjugated verb, opposite vowel, verb number 8 in the present subjunctive, because we're attaching the verb conjugation to something, to a person, right? Example again, before they find out, antes de que se den cuenta. Sorry, this is a quick lesson, but my equipment needs to be used by someone else, and they're waiting for me to finish. So, sorry, un poco rápido, pero ojalá haya ayudado. Remember your 6 irregulars in the present subjunctive: haya, vaya, esté, de, sepa, and sea. Haya, vaya, esté, de, sepa, sea. Everything else, just take the yo form, change that O to the opposite vowel, and you've got the present subjunctive, no exceptions. Okay, es todo por ahora. Gracias. Hasta la próxima lección. Bye bye.